Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here with me, Kathy Zerler, and our host, Deborah Basham, as we present another session of restorative, gentle yoga for you. Remember, this is your yoga, everyone. Only do the right things for yourself. It's important that we all move mindfully as everything seems to change from day to day. Our range of motion changes, what we can really do changes a little. And so being mindful of those differences, really from moment to moment, from the beginning of this hour, you'll see a change as we progress. And so honor wherever you are and give a little TLC to the parts that need it, including your spirit, mind, and your body. So let's work on our bodies by lying down in rest pose, whatever that is for you, and most of you know what your rest pose is. I'm in corpse pose, rolling back my shoulders, letting my skull center on the mat. Arms are by my side. But if this is not for you, maybe it's reclining cobbler with the soles of your feet together. Or if you're feeling any sensation in the low back that you'd like to relieve, bend your knees, widen your feet so that you can let your knees come together and hold each other up like a tent. And let's begin to breathe. Slower and deeper. Filling up your body with healing oxygen and exhaling CO2. When we breathe with our noses, we can make that ocean sound in the back of our throats. But if you are stuffy and can't breathe nasally, that's okay. Breathe with your mouth. Do the right things. Begin to turn your head gently from side to side in a gentle flow that goes up to your range of motion, acknowledging that where it is, moving back to center, flowing from one side to the other. Just this gentle motion can release water from one or both ears. If you've had a shower before your practice and maybe got a little water in there, just this gentle motion naturally can release that. Coming back to center now, check your shoulders again. We want to be squarely on the mat. And as your arms are by your sides, notice if your palms want to be up or down on the mat. Either way is right. Whatever feels better for your shoulders. Now turn your head in one direction and go up to your range of motion and hold it there. Breathe back to center. Turn your head the other direction, same thing on this side. Up to, but not through your range of motion. Come back to center. Other way. Find your edge, and just the act of holding it allows the pose to maintain your range of motion and perhaps increase it. Coming back to center. Last time, the other direction. Center. Lift up one arm so that it's up off the floor. We're going to begin some tense and release. So the tension is now as you're holding up the weight of one arm. Notice the weight coming through the shoulders, the elbows, right to the fingertips, but coming from the core, which is your torso. So the shoulder is doing the work. breathing into the shoulder, we are supporting and encouraging core work. All at once now, drop the arm and let everything else go. Lift up the other arm so that it's just up off the mat, noticing the weight. We are weightlifting with our own body, training ourselves to move from the core, from the inside, out to the extremities, which in this case is the arm. And all at once, drop the arm, let everything else go as well. Bring both arms up. Tighten up the TVA muscles, the muscles right below your navel. Squeeze your glutes and your hips. Notice your quadriceps. They're engaging to help you support the weight of both arms. And this time it's optional to make a fist and squeeze the fist to stimulate circulation in the arms. Breathing as you hold. So now we're tightening up the diaphragm, but still breathing. Tightening up the fists, still holding the weight with a little more tension. And now all at once, drop and release everything else. Delicious. Take a longer, slower breath. Again, engage the low core, the protector of our bodies, especially the protector of our low backs, and lift up both arms. If you're doing the fist as an option, make 2 fists. All of this is extra, and you can just do the weight of your arms if you'd like, and squeeze the core. So those are the two essential parts. Holding the weight, squeezing the core, protecting the rest of your body. And let everything go, drop it all, release and rest just for a moment. Traveling down your core now, squeeze that all again. Let's just practice holding everything in the low core. It's a Kegel exercise. Many of us know it as that. It's a yoga core work, strength, endurance, promoting core work move. All at once, let go of that. Notice the difference. Let's do that again, realizing that the practice helps us all to engage the core when we need it, when we're lifting, when we're climbing, when we're doing anything a little bit extra that might affect the lumbar spine or some other part of your body. Let it go. Let it all go. Bend one knee now and bring that leg up close, placing both hands behind the knee as we begin to massage that side of our bodies with the top of our legs. Just moving in and out in a circular motion, releasing, and when you bring the leg in, the small of your back touches the mat. When you release the leg a little bit, the back arches. Just notice what's going on with every gentle move. And now come in close, lift up that leg. The knee is soft. Place your hands now on the low belly, right below your navel, reminding you to engage as we point and slowly lower that leg almost to the mat. Moving mindfully from the core. When you get almost to the mat, flex the foot and bring it up just as slowly. Keep going at your own pace, bringing the leg up to your range of motion and then pointing down, slowly going almost to the mat, and then flexing again and bringing it up. The next time you come close to the floor, and don't hurry, release the leg. And when you release the leg, then let everything else go. Just let it go. Rest a moment. Notice the rest. It is equally important to the tension. The tension and the rest help us heal our bodies. Bend the other knee. Bring that leg up, both hands behind that knee, as we do the same thing on this side, massaging, being watchful, paying attention, being mindful, and breathing. Lift that leg up. That knee is soft. Bring the leg up, hands on the low belly, point and slowly lower, coming almost to the mat. Nice and slow. When you get there, flex and come back up, just as slowly. Engaging the core always. We are lifting a heavy weight, our leg. Moving always at your best pace, realizing that we are exerting in both directions. So when a weightlifter lifts heavy weights, the rule is exhale on the exertion. We are exerting in both directions. There's no momentum here. When you come to the mat, release everything. Take a rest, and that's enough. Bend both knees now. Bring both legs up in the air. Look at your feet and point both feet. Remember to engage the core. Have your arms next to your body for stability. Release the point and gently flex. Press through the heels. Feel the backs of your legs engaging. Soften again. Press the sides of your big toes together. Squeeze the inner thighs. Notice this. Let go. Press the sides of your heels together. Squeeze your core. Squeeze your glutes, your hips. Draw down on the belly. Release that. Bend the elbows and open up the legs in a big V, allowing them to come to the support system that is both hands, so that you can go up to your edge safely, feeling the length in the inner thigh, opening up your center. Gently rotate the ankles, first in one direction, and then in the other direction. Think about those little feet holding up the weight of your entire body. Feet are a metaphor for moving forward. And now, without going any farther, point the feet and notice the difference as you pronate, turning the feet out. We're engaging a few different groups of muscles and their support systems, the tension of the connective tissues combined with the muscles and the bones, all working together. Release that and flex the feet. Another little small change. And then supinate. Bring the feet in. Notice the sides of your legs now. The IT band is flexing. We're working all parts. This is something that in a practice we strive for, working every part of the body. Release that now and bring the legs in. Bend the knees, one hand behind each knee, and roll on your back. In activity, which is what we're training for, doing our lives, we don't necessarily use all parts of the body. We tend to be doing an activity with somewhat of repetitive motions, not necessarily engaging every part of the body. So that's why this practice is so essential to better health. Bringing the knees in close now, roll onto one side using an elbow and the other hand to press yourself up to a seated position. And I'm going to turn to one side so you can see that seated position. Pull the fleshy part back. Roll your shoulders so you're sitting tall. Look at your feet and soften here and gently fold in half. Seated forward bend. Coming down, head in the direction of the knees, hands in the direction of the feet. Never forcing, but notice here the low back opening up. It should feel good. The sacral plate, the sacrum, the tailbone, everything working together for opening, making space. Roll up. Come up nice and slow, tucking the chin, and sit tall, rolling back your shoulders, placing your hands behind you. Lift up the weight of your body. The weight is on the heels of your feet and the heels of your hands. You can make a plank by pointing the feet, and you can arch your back and let your head come back as well if you'd like to. So you can go just as far in this as you want. Just lifting up is weightlifting. This is a little bit more weight, a little bit farther into the muscle groups. Bring up your head carefully if you're doing that, and come back down. Shake out the wrists and roll your shoulders. Bend one knee now and bring that leg up close, placing the bent knee on the outside of the other knee, bringing the arm that's with the bent knee on into the inside of that leg. Place the other hand behind you, and you're in the pose for some spinal flexion. Nice and gentle. Point the foot. Look behind you. Arch your back a little. Lift your chin. Work the pose mindfully, going up to your edge right here. Notice the spine, the neck, the shoulders, the waist, all working together as you breathe. And notice. Pay attention. If something's on your mind, you can pick it up after practice. It'll still be there, I guarantee it. Soften in place. Let yourself move. Find a better spot. If you think there might be one, your body will know, so listen to your body. And then return to the flex, looking over the shoulder, pointing the forward foot, arching your back, lifting your chin, all mindfully, only ever up to your range of motion. And then back off just a little so that you can find that sweet spot. So we go up to our limits, but then we just release a little. So we're working, and we could actually stay here for a few minutes, feeling comfortable. In this practice, we don't hold poses very long. We hold them enough, but not too much. However, having said that, if any particular pose feels really right for you, then do that in your own practice and hold it as long as you want to. You are in charge of this experience. This is your yoga. I'm here as your guide. I'll make suggestions for safety and show you the poses with variations that you can either find that they work or reject because they didn't work, or maybe even find something better that you figure out for yourself. And that's what practice does. Release now, come back to center, uncross, find your seat, pull back that fleshy part, and fold forward, seated forward bend. Come up nice and slow. When you get up, notice your head, blood flowing toward your heart. Roll back your shoulders. Sit tall, and I'm going to turn around so you can see the other side of my body better. And we're going to work the other side in the same pose. So when we work one side, we always do the other. One side might not be exactly the same as the other side, and that's perfectly normal. We are not perfectly symmetrical because we're human. Bend that other knee. Bring that leg up close, placing the foot on the outside of the extended leg. Point the extended foot. Bring the bent arm that's on the same side as the bent leg in close to the knee. Bring the other arm behind you and begin to work the stretch, looking over the posterior shoulder, arching, pointing the foot, lifting the chin. Lift your lips up in a smile. We like to say that's the most advanced pose, smiling and noticing, being present in what you're doing at this moment, because it's really all we have. There's a wonderful saying. Let's see, what is it? I want to say the past is in the past, the future is in the future, and the present is a gift. It's more eloquently written than that, but we have those parts. We have our past. There is a future, but the present is all we really have, and it's a gift. It's a gift for us to unwrap and notice what's all around it. What's in that wonderful gift of staying present? You'll find out when you're there. Soften, move a little, see if there's a better spot, move around, and then return to looking over that shoulder, engaging, pointing the foot, arching your back, lifting your chin, and breathing. Probably the most important thing. Breath of life. Hold it here. Lift up your lips in a smile, because you are doing the right things for the right reasons. And only you really know what those are. Yes, there's ethics and values and morals and qualities, but you know what your best ones are, and you know where it feels best to be. Let's release again, come back to center, uncross, check your seat, pull that fleshy part back, roll your shoulders back, sit tall, and then relax and fold forward. Seated forward bend. And roll up, bone by beautiful bone. Head comes up, blood flows back toward your heart, shoulders roll back, and let's come to our hands and knees, to the table. Arms straight down to the shoulders, legs straight down from the hips. Begin the cat table cow, tucking the chin and arching your back for the cat, releasing to table, center, swaying into the cow, belly toward the mat, head comes up, going up to your edge, coming back to table, to center, arching into the cat stretch, tucking the chin, coming back to table, flowing into the sway-backed cow, lift up your head, breathe back to table. One more complete rotation, arch it up, come back to table, flow into the cow, lift up your head. Return to table. Widen your hands and feet to the edges of your mat and press up to downward dog. Head is hanging between the arms. Back is arched toward the mat. Press your hips back. And then begin to pedal, alternating, bending one knee and then the other. Walk the dog. Head is still hanging. Remember, every time an inversion occurs, which this is an inversion in addition to being downward dog, you can release your head. It has an average weight of 10 pounds. Some of you have a 7-pound head. Some of you have a 13-pound head, or somewhere in between that averages to 10. Take advantage of releasing that weight, taking the pressure off of your neck. Coming back to center. Find your downward dog once again. Press the hips back. Feel the backs of your legs engaging, your head hanging. Figuratively, notice the spine sliding toward your shoulders. And then soften up and walk your hands and feet to forward bend. Hanging out. Once again, this is an inversion. Tucking the chin. Come up slowly. The chin tuck helps alleviate dizziness, if you have any. And notice the blood flowing from your brain to your heart as your shoulders roll back. And come into good posture, the mountain. Look at your feet. Your feet should be forward, legs straight down from the hips. You're in a nice, tall spine. And good posture, as many of you already know, is the single best thing we can do for a healthy spine. So we're going to practice now forward bends, which basically is coming in and out of good posture. Bring your elbows in close to the waist. Your hands are soft. We don't need our hands for this. Bend the knees and sit way back. Bend the knees some more as you fold in half. Let your hands slide down your legs and hang out in forward bend. Then you can lengthen the legs, opening up the sacrum. It's important to have 4 points on the mat. So if you are unable to touch, even with your fingertips, and that's okay, you still have 4 points on the mat. If you cannot touch the mat, you might be unstable in this pose. And so use a block or a cushion, a bolster, something that you can rest your hands on. Shake your head yes. Tucking the chin, roll up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, thinking about alignment as your head comes up and the blood flows toward your heart as your shoulders roll back. Come into posture, the mountain. Sweep your arms up to the extended mountain. Lift up. Come up right out of the armpits. Feel the belly flexing as well. Lift up the toes. Feel that. And now plant your feet, soften up, look up, and arch your back. We're always soft on the moves, and then we go to the extensions. Bring up your head. Remember that 10-pound weight. Release the arms. Come back to posture, rolling back the shoulders. Settle in for a minute. If you can stay in mountain with your eyes closed just for a few moments, do that and let your body remember this good posture. Every cell has a memory. Forward bend, elbows in, hands are soft, sit back, fold in half, slide the hands down to the mat, and then begin to lengthen, opening up the sacrum, letting your head hang. Shake your head yes, stimulating the crystals in your skull. If they become clustered together, they can cause dizziness. Tuck the chin, pull in the belly, and slide up nice and slow. Thinking alignment. Tucking the chin helps alleviate that dizziness if there's any there. Head comes up, blood flows toward your heart, shoulders roll back, check your mountain, notice it, sweep up your arms to extended mountain, lift up the toes, widen the fingers, stand tall. Soften here, plant your feet, look up and arch your back, lean back. Bring up your head and release. Sway from side to side, letting go. The rest is as essential as the tension. Tension plus rest heals our bodies. Coming back to center. Forward bend. Elbows in. Hands are soft. Sit way back. Bend the knees, fold in half. Slide the hands down to the mat. Find your length. Release your head. Hang out here. And this time grab your elbows and sway from the waist. Swaying from side to side. And your arms are like an elephant's trunk. You're not moving your arms, you're moving from the waist. Your head is hanging. Coming to center, release the elbows and roll it up, bone by bone, aligning the vertebrae, keeping the chin tucked, keeping you safe. Blood flowing back to your heart now as the shoulders roll back. Sweep up, lift up, lengthen, lift up the toes, bring the chin back. Plant the feet. Look up, arch your back and lean. Bring up your head. Release the arms. Come into the mountain and check your mountain. You want the legs straight down from the hips and the feet forward. Roll back your shoulders. And let's begin some windmill breathing as you inhale up and exhale down. This one is an easy pose to match your breath to the movement. If it's too tricky, if you just don't want to think about all of this all at once, if you're rather new to the practice, that's okay. Breathe the way it feels right. Coming up, hold it there. I'm going to step back a little. Fold your hands and press your palms up toward the ceiling. Lifting up out of the armpits. Feel the length and the strength, the flex everywhere. Release the hands, keep the arms up, and begin to sway from side to side, keeping your body in the frontal plane. Notice the oblique muscles stretching. As you breathe into this gentle flex, we've already worked all parts of our body in this wonderful warm-up. The next time you come up, lift up at center, soften, and release to crescent moon. So one hand goes down the side of the leg you're leaning into, and the other arm goes up overhead or wherever your shoulder feels better. So if your shoulder does not want to be up here, you can cross your body, you can let your arm hang, or you can place your hand on your waist. Come back up. Come up to center. Lift up, soften, and lean the other way. Crescent moon in the other direction. The upper arm wherever the shoulder feels good. Hold it here. The holds are what is called a static stretch. Used to be called isometric. It's movement in place, moving from the inside out, but really not going anywhere, except that you know your body's working. We can all feel it. Come all the way back up. Lift up. Soften and release. Widen your stance. Place your hands on your waist. Bend the knees. Twist in one direction, looking over that shoulder. Twisting from the waist. Engaging the waist and the spine and the shoulders and the neck. Breathing into all of that. Coming to center. Twist the other direction. Looking over that shoulder. Noticing that. Breathing in to that and exhaling out of it. Come back to center. It only takes a moment at center to remind your body of center. Twist the other way. Hold it here, increasing perhaps, and certainly maintaining your current range of motion. Come back to center. Other way. Noticing and breathing. Feeling good. Come back to center. Release the arms and step out for tripod. Put the hands together, bend the knees, and place both hands in front of you on the mat. Let your head hang, knees are soft. Walk both hands over to the right foot, left hand on the mat. Right arm up in the air, look up. Look down, right arm down, hands to center. To the left foot, right hand on the mat. Left arm up in the air, look up. Look down, left arm down. Walk back to center. Hands to the right. Left hand on the mat. Right arm up in the air, look up. Look down. Right arm down. Come to center. Last time. Hands to the left foot. Right hand on the mat. Left arm up in the air, look up. Look down. Left arm down. Come to center and roll it up. Tucking the chin once again. If you need any assistance with dizziness, this is what we do. Let's come into prayer pose. The chin tuck plus gentle pressure in the center of your chest can help you alleviate dizziness even better. The chin tuck certainly helps all by itself, but if you place some pressure here with the sides of your thumbs, prayer pose becomes a stabilizing pose, physically stabilizing, as well as spiritually stabilizing. So bow our heads, let's bow our heads together and take a moment. Take a moment for yourself. Notice whatever comes to your mind. Bring up your head. Release your arms, step together, and gently sway from side to side. Noticing how wonderful it feels to release. Notice how wonderful it meant a moment ago to go up to your range of motion. Coming to center, let's step out now to the 5-point star. The top of your head is the top of your star. Be your own star. Be your own champion. Energize everything below the neck. Squeeze it where it needs to be squeezed and extend it where you can extend. Lift up your lips in a smile. Soften here and turn one foot so it points away as you swivel your hips in that direction. Legs are straight, plant the back foot, plant that heel, and bring the forward arm up and the posterior arm down the back of that leg, softening that shoulder as you look up. Hold it. This is balance in motion. Bring up your head. Bring the arms back down to parallel. Sink the forward knee for side angle pose and bring the forward arm on top of that leg as the other arm comes up overhead or wherever your shoulder feels good, and hold it here. Keeping the forward knee bent, come back up to parallel. Find your place, sink into it. Proud warrior, sink into the proud warrior. Straighten your spine. Bring both arms together in the front. Strong fists and shoot the bow. Lots of tension, squeeze your butt, pull it back, and then release, like an archer would release the bow. Again, both arms together in the front. Strong fists and shoot the bow. Lots of tension. And then release. Hold it here. Again, both arms together in the front. Strong fists and shoot the bow. Bring it back. Slow and release. Hold it here. Bring both arms together in the front, palms facing each other. Lift your arms up overhead. Arch your back and look up. Exalted warrior. Bring up your head. Lower the arms and come back to center. Engage the 5-point star. Lots of energy. Everything below the neck. Squeeze it all. Extend it all. Lots of good energy within that radiates out. Soften and release and step together. And let's just sway gently, side to side. Nice and slow. Swaying as you move. Just feeling good about it. You can march in place a little bit here if you'd like to. Just releasing. You can move the shoulders. And then come back to the mountain. Check out your mountain. Step out again to the 5-point star. We're going to do the other side of the warrior sequence. So find your place, energize, smile, soften, and turn the other foot away, swiveling your hips in that direction as you sink the back heel. Legs are straight as you bring the forward arm up and the posterior arm down the back of that leg, softening that shoulder. Looking up, holding it. Bring up the head, bring the arms back to parallel. Sink the forward knee for side angle pose. Put the forward arm on top of that thigh as the other arm comes up overhead. Your head can be looking at your foot or forward, or it could be looking up, wherever you feel good. Remember that the shoulder can be wherever it feels good always. And that's the same thing, that's true with every body part. Put it in the place where it feels best. Come back up, keep the forward knee bent. Find your center, sink your hips. We're going to do shoot the bow now, so bring both arms together in the front. Strong fists and pull, bring it back, lots of energy. When you get about to your mouth, release it just like an archer. Hold it here. You are a peaceful warrior. Bring both arms together in the front. Strong fists and pull. Bring it back. Slow and let it go. Hold it here. One more time. Both arms together in the front. Strong fists and pull. Make it good. Breathing in and breathing out. Releasing. Holding, tense and release. Both arms together in the front, palms facing each other. Lift your arms up overhead. Look up, arch your back, exalted warrior. Bring up your head. Bring the arms back, come back to 5-point star. Energize it. You are the star of this show. Release and step together and let's sit down. We're going into the bridge pose now. Feet are in front of the knees. Roll down. You have the weight on your shoulders, so roll back your shoulders. Arms are by your sides for stability, and when you're ready, tilt your pelvis and roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, rocking up onto the shoulders. Arch your back, squeeze your hips, find your best extension, and then soften all around it. What do you need to hold your bridge? What makes your bridge stable? Only use those parts. Let other parts rest. Hold it and breathe. Breathe and notice. If you feel like coming out of your bridge, you can do that. I'm going to stay in my bridge, and you come back in if you went out, whenever you're ready, and let your mind come up out of your body and stand on your bridge. Figuratively speaking, you are witnessing everything around you. You are seeing what's there. The energy that you create is all around you. It radiates to others. People that are trained in this work, this mind-body work, can feel and sometimes even see auras. And that's your energy field all around you. You could definitely feel your own energy. Everybody can. And as you develop your mind-body practice, you can begin to feel other people's energy as well. Wherever you are, roll down, let your back touch the mat, and gently rock your pelvis forward and back. Bring up both knees, one hand behind each knee, and roll on your back. A little bit more vigorously now, allowing your back and the blood flow around your spine to feel better, to increase stimulation, getting that gentle massage that you can give yourself, and you are right now. Bring the knees in close, extend the arms out into airplane, and lower both legs to the right, all the way to the mat, so your hips and spine follow. Turn your head to the left as the left palm rolls up, right palm is down. Let it go. Soften in right here. Breathe into your flexing spine. It's important in this pose to have your legs one on top of the other, the lower leg on the mat. We do not want to be holding up the weight of our legs. It's too hard on the spine. So if this is not something you can do without a prop, don't feel bad about using a prop. Put a blanket or a pillow or a bolster under your knees or between your knees. Use a block, use a bolster, use a rolled up yoga mat. whatever you have handy. And then you can soften in. Keep softening. Keep breathing into the flexion. Stay here and let this pose work. Slowly now, one leg at a time, bring up the legs slowly. The release is just as important as the tension. When you find your legs on top of your body, bring in the arms, placing one hand behind each knee as you roll around a little more vigorously, but in control. Nothing about this practice is momentum. We are moving mindfully in and out of tension, energizing in both directions, making our bodies better with, I would say, the most beneficial way that everybody can work. And yoga can be for anyone, anybody. Come up to happy baby, put your legs up in the air, grab your feet, and roll around in happy baby, encompassing a little bit more of your spine, massaging a little bit more. Side to side, a circular motion. And then bring in the knees, nice and close, arms out to airplane, legs to the left, all the way to the mat, head to the right, extend the right arm as the right palm rolls up, you're looking right, palm on the left is down, you are in the pose. Release, relax, breathe into the flexion, settle in. The Quakers have a wonderful saying. When they come to their friends' meetings, they sit in chairs silently for a period of time, centering down. That's giving up everything that they came in with, sitting in a chair with like-minded people, centering down, each individual centering down, each individual a part of every other one in the room and everywhere else. Breathe and release. Slowly now, one leg at a time, bring up your legs, coming onto your back, coming to center, bringing in the arms, one hand behind each knee, and roll around. Maybe a little bit more vigorously, but certainly in control, allowing any part to come back to center. Bring the legs up into happy baby, grab your feet, and continue releasing, rolling, massaging. And then stretch out on the mat, both arms behind you on the mat. Stretch through the fingers and the toes. Feel the length and the strength, the openness all around your organs and systems. And then release. Bring the arms next to your body for rest pose. And Shavasana. This is the part of the yoga practice where we stay for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, maybe more. And we let our spirits, minds, and bodies integrate together into what we did in this hour that is almost over. But now we're on our backs. Check your shoulders. See where your arms want to be, where your hands want to be. Your feet are naturally open. That's unless you need to tent your legs, and then you can bring your feet to a point at the width of your mats. Widen your feet, bend the knees, and let your knees fall together. Or you can do reclining cobbler, but let go. Please don't hold up any part of your body, and let the release happen as much as you possibly can. This is Shavasana. This is the rest and the integration after the practice that is designed to get our bodies ready to meditate. So here we are. Let your mind soften around your thoughts. Acknowledge your thoughts without judgment. We all have lots and lots of thoughts. So it's an illusion that we can make our minds blank. Even in sleep, our subconscious is working. It's why dream work can give some good, strong messages. Soften, smile, breathe and release. We are in Shavasana. We are closing our practice by bringing our hands together in prayer pose, resting our arms on our ribs, the sides of our thumbs in the center of our chest. As we say together, Namaste. Honor this state. Love one another. On behalf of Deborah and myself, Kathy, we bid you a happier, healthier day. Make it good. It's your day. Thank you.